Hello, hola, encantado de conocerle. Hola, prazer conocerlo. Is right? Thank you for having me. I am the Korean System Dynamics Society president, and I am currently presenting in Korea. It is an honor to present at the 18th Latin American System Dynamics Conference. Today's topic, let me see, how about this? Okay, screen share, okay. Okay, the topic I will be presenting today is the vision and strategy of K-12 system dynamic system thinking education focused on Korean cases. I hope my presentation could give you a hint or idea or inspiration for spreading K-12 system dynamic system thinking education in Latin America. If you okay, I'll skip the details of me because of the time limit. Please refer to the materials. I have been interested in this field since 2012. It's a fantastic memory and turning point in my life. Okay. At first, at first I will analyze the structure of the Korean educational environment according to my perspective. The basic structure is a balanced feedback loop with delay. Let's apply this basic structure to the Korean educational environment. First, there are differences between the capability for the future, okay, like this, and the capability and skills obtained from the current school's classes, okay? The larger this difference, the greater the obsession with fast learning. The larger this obsession, the greater the amount of education or knowledge. The greater the amount of this knowledge, the higher the current level. They think that as the quantity of knowledge increases, the capability for the future could be, yeah, built up. Besides, thanks to the technology's efficiency, the amount of learning and or education becomes even more remarkable. However, as the amount of education increases, the time to digest, the time to internalize will gradually increase. As the time required for learning increases, the difference increases. Here, the obsession with faster learning is intensified because of the short-termism of elected officials in education and the concerns and worries of parents further reinforce this obsession with faster learning. After all, these obsessions builds up your dependence on fast learning. And this dependence on fast learning hinders slow learning. And the slower you learn, the more you are less prepared for capabilities in future. Eventually, the obsession with fast learning continues to be reinforced. This is a comprehensive causal loop diagram of distorted learning structure. This time, I show you the formidable changes the schools are facing now. I introduce five things. First, the knowledge development is fast. Interdependence is growing worldwide. Economic inequality and uncertainty are growing. The speed of technology development is getting faster. People are frustrated with the quality of education. Education is undergoing such a significant change. Therefore, we need to change the structure of education. This is the structure of my vision. Educators in schools will try to find alternative to new education, and eventually they accept the system dynamics. This is my belief and my assumption. More generally expressed as follows. To put it more simply, it can be summarized in two ways. First, you need to manage your school's need. Second, we need to focus on climate change because the climate change will be the most powerful driver of changes. The school will need these three. Need to need to learn how to interpret change, need to learn global standards, need to learn how to handle complexity. The faster the pace of change, the more they will want learn how to interpret it. As the system gets more complicated, they will want to learn how to deal with it. They will want to meet global standards. The UNEP also emphasizes system thinking. System thinking is also essential to the OECD. In other words, system thinking is a global standard. The second strategy is focus on climate change. As climate change grows, you may be wondering how to embrace it. System dynamics has the answer to this problem. To accomplish this purpose, I present five objectives. I'll explain the five objectives with the case of Korea. I branded my educational program as follows: System Thinking with Games, System Thinking with Games for Environment Club, System Thinking with Games for Social Science Club, System Thinking with Games for Humanities Club, blah, 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 and MIT Creative Class with Games, something like that. And this is my achievement in Korea since 2014. This is the level to date. From now on, I will explain how the five goals were applied in Korea. By all means, I would like to have something to refer to in Latin America countries. First, let's look at the situation outside the school. The complexity surrounding schools is growing beyond this description. Therefore, changing schools is not just a matter of school. To change schools, you must also get help outside of school. In my case, I spread the system dynamic system thinking with the help of local and central government with fund. If you don't have these kinds of outside support right now, don't be disappointed. Please wait. There would be an opportunity. The biggest challenge for me is moving the companies. Yet I haven't been successful. That is my another challenge. Here are some implications for an out-of-school help strategy. Local and central government want to support with a budget. System dynamics can be recognized as an education for future capabilities. The challenges are as follows. Local and central governments have their administrative process and rule. You have to respect them. The school was not ready for out-of-school help. Trust is required. In other words, it takes time for schools to be interested in system dynamics. Sometimes schools can disappoint you, but you have to accept the school's inertia and hesitancy to change. The dialogue with them is the only solution, I think. Okay, okay. These are something, there are something you can do inside the school. Intervene in the teacher's learning organization. I was lucky to have met a learning organization that fits with the system dynamics. You need such and knock on the door. I also translated with these teachers. Everyone except me is a teacher. A total of 16 people translated Schools That Learn, written by Peter Senge and others together. If there is no translation of this book in Latin America, try it. Your efforts are worth it. In Korea, the translation took 3 years because the Korean version has more than 800 pages. I am involved in various other teachers learning organizations, and I also set up and run a learning organization with teachers every weekend. Here are some implications for strategies within the school. Te Teachers love the concept of interaction and feedback. The interdisciplinary education program is an irresistible subject for teachers. Some teachers are interested in it. You have to find them. Next, the provider strategy. Providers are teachers and out-of-school instructors. Um, I have tried to participate in the official professional development program for teachers, and it is paying off. Okay. I also worked hard to train instructors outside the school. It is not easy, but it is the way to go. Here are some implications for providers. The key is two things. The teacher wants a hands-on lesson plan that can be used immediately for tomorrow's class. Instructors should share the vision of system dynamics rather than immediate instructor fees. It is very important for me. Let me explain the training program, the contents. Okay. I am usually teaching systematic system thinking without software. I actively use games. I love games based on systematic system thinking. The game has a unique character. I'm trying to maximize the game's strength. The fun increases the level of involvement and motivates ongoing learning. All games based on systematic system thinking end in shocking result. This surprise triggers reflection and motivates ongoing learning. My message of debriefing are as follows. Structure produces behavior. Partial optimization makes the whole system even worse. The decrease of net inflow of pollution only increase the pollution stock. The delay is the cause of system's counterintuitive behavior. Mental model beneath the structure is critical, but the change of mental model is the big challenge, which we should care. Blah blah blah. Okay, this is the frame I developed. So due to the time limits, the details will be omit. I'm sorry, but it's okay. Okay, that the final strategy is an academic approach. Although I need more, I am accumulating academic achievement by submitting to academic conference and journals or something like that. This paper is published this year. The exploration study of convergence education literature uh, with literature model focus on Hamlin modeling. Fantastic. And whenever the opportunities comes, I try to teach at the university like this. And the Korean System Dynamics Society actively encourages middle school students, high school students presentation. Most of them are my students. Okay, I have a dream to hold an international K-12 system dynamic system thinking conference in Korea. I need your help from my Latin American friends. I can help you too. Thank you for your attention.